Okay, guys, let's get ready to rumble. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to hand it over to Diamond Director, Mr. Craig Schultz, just to talk to us a little bit about his experience with the 90-day challenge last year and what it can mean for your business. We've been running this program for 6, 7, 8 years now. I was looking back at my PowerPoints, even from my previous company, and every single time we run this 90-day challenge, we see businesses double, triple, and even quadruple in a 90-day stage. So this is Aaron Biley, Diamond Director with Genes Global. We're going to be talking about the 90-day challenge for 2015. What exactly is it? How does it work? What's involved? What do you need to do, and how can it help you with your business? But to start off with, I'm going to hand it over to Diamond Director Craig Schultz.
Thanks, Aaron. And yeah, as Aaron said, this is, I guess, our history in business has been in the fitness industry. And as we always ran in our gyms many years ago, was a 90-day challenge, which was a result-focused program. People can see measurable results and absolute key performance indicators booming out of control when you run a 90-day challenge. So we took that concept from the gym game and turn that into the network marketing industry on KPIs for building your business. So we've done this, as he discussed, for the last 7 years with extraordinary results. We're just about to kickstart this year's, and it's a bit earlier this year than what we have in previous year. But what we like to do is line it up so it falls as a 90 days of full throttle, building your business as hard as you possibly can, leading into the convention month. And that's what we aim to do again this year. Convention's going to be in May, and about the 8th, 9th of May this year, the weekend of. And so we're going to lead it right into there. And what we want to do is build mass momentum. And building mass momentum, the more enrollments, driving more people to the event, trying to double, triple your business through that period. And the great thing about starting this time of the year is you can really set yourself up to have an incredible business year for the rest of 2015. So just make sure that if you're on this call tonight and you agree to what we're saying, because this is our 90-day challenge program, it's not for people that want to be a part of it. It's not for people that are building a business very part-time. This is for people that have a vision of life-changing results. So you can't be part-time in the 90-day challenge program. And we saw last year in the month of August, when our convention was on, the follow-on from the 90-day challenge basically created around 20 people that surpassed the Sapphire Elite level. Every person that was in the 90-day challenge at least had a 30% growth in their business, whether it was cycles, enrollments, whatever. That's the type of number that is an absolute minimum that you should be going month after month after month. And in the corporate world, that often refer to a 10% growth is an absolutely incredible year. But in this company, with what you can truly create, we want to aim for 30% month on month after month, even more than that. You saw many people such as Angela Licenti that went through the 90-day challenge that wasn't Sapphire Elite to Sapphire Elite to Ruby Director, and that set herself up to go Emerald in that convention month. So anything is possible. Aaron set up last week the 1,000 people commitment, the 1,000 people pledge for convention. We will be absolutely devastated if we don't hit that, because we've actually said to Chris, you need to double the size of room, and he's committed to that. So we've committed to filling the room. So as a part of the 90-day challenge, you really want to focus on that. You find the people that commit to the 90-day challenge, they're the people that rise in leadership capabilities right through their business. So they all of a sudden jump out, start running more events, more house parties, enroll more people. They are doing cold-face activities to get mass production, mass results. So every year we run this. This is where the stars shine. We have our Noosa Leadership Retreat, and the good thing is a 90-day challenge can be a springboard to qualifying for that. So if you're just a newbie, an executive, a Jade, Pearl, aiming to get on that retreat, your first month is to do everything possible to qualify for that Noosa Leadership Retreat. That's going to be a wow factor event. So I'm excited about the positioning of the 90-day challenge in 2015 because it's right at the start of the year. We are already full swing. Live events have just started kicking off this week all around Australia. It is going to be an exciting year in 2015. In fact, through I guess what we would refer to as the quietest period in network marketing across the board is usually Christmas and that January month where everyone's just getting back into it, getting out of their holiday zone. We've had record week after week after week, and we're only just getting started in 2015. I'm excited. I'm going to hand it back to Aaron to add his, his vision and what he sees, and then go through the mechanics of the 90-day challenge. Look forward to working with you, but make sure if you've committed to this, this is have to commit 100%. There's no, I'll get on it one day, I'll enroll one person next week. This is a commitment to building your business in 2015. Thanks, guys, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Awesome stuff, Craig. Thank you for that input. And yeah, as Craig said, this is a challenge that can really set your business up. And the reason we wanted to start it in February was so that we could go February, March, April, and then straight into May for the convention. So we kind of want to have a theme for every month of the year leading up all the way through to the end of the year. So we've got the 90-day challenge, then May is the convention, and then we might do a winter warmer, and then we might do spring into spring in September with the Zen Body. We might do a salon month in June or July where we're hitting them up with Instantly Ageless, and we'll have a competition to see who can get the most salons on board. We'll get Chris Cooper to do a promotion with the $1 sign up again at the end of the year. So we want to have something going on every month to focus on. So the next 90 days is this challenge, and that'll lead into convention. And trust me, the biggest thing about the 90-day challenge is accountability. So let's have a bit of a look at the 90-day challenge, exactly how it all works. Okay, so the 90-day challenge really is an elevated intensity and a laser sharp focus of building your Jeunesse business. It's 90 days of being held accountable. It's 90 days of putting Jeunesse as your number one priority. Yes, maybe even before family, maybe even before TV, maybe even before work. 90 days of being all in and giving it 100%. So again, it's not something you need to quit your job for 90 days. It's not something you need to do 24/7, but I guarantee you no one puts in 100% all of the time. I know I don't. Could I be working harder? Of course I can. So it's an elevated intensity for a period of time, because the intensity that we want to work here over the next 90 days is pretty hard to maintain for 4, 5, 6 months, 12 months. Okay, so it might be you work an extra 5 hours a week on Jeunesse. It might be you get up an hour later, go to bed an hour later, get up an hour early. It might be no TV for 90 days. It might be no social events for 90 days. Whatever you can do to have that laser sharp focus on the 90-day challenge. So you can put the same amount of time that you have been putting in, but get more productive. Okay, so are you being as productive as you can? Are you doing something every day? So we're going to be showing you what the productive things you need to be doing are. And if you're only putting in 7 hours a week now, well, then maybe it's 7 hours a week of just phoning those new prospects. And the magic of this is the accountability score sheet that you need to get in. So you already know what to do to build a Jeunesse business. We do trainings on that every week, every month. You've got your upline teaching you how to do that, and we'll continue to do that through the 90-day challenge. Now it's a matter of doing it for 90 days with 100% effort and 100% intensity. Okay, to start off with, we're going to need everyone to send a picture of your goals pinned up. That's a real qualification process. So I ran a bit of a webinar 2 weeks ago about goal setting. Okay, so to qualify to get into the 90-day challenge, you'll need to send in proof that you've actually written down your goals and pinned them up somewhere. Now, that's been held accountable, right? Pretty cool. Okay, you need to hand in a score sheet every Sunday night before midnight, okay, in order to complete the 90-day challenge. If you miss 1 week, you can still continue with the challenge, which is going to be good for your business, but you won't get a completion certificate. Okay, you'll kind of be disqualified, if that makes sense, and you won't be eligible to win the prize. Okay, you'll need to develop a mindset that only a small percentage of people ever really do. You know, to be able to hand something in and be accountable every week, to get organized, to remember, to put it in a diary, to have a reminder, to finish the 90-day challenge is to have a mindset that you're going to finish what you start, you're going to do it properly. Not many people have that mindset. So last year we had somewhere around about 200 people on this webinar from all over the world, but nowhere near as much as we have today. We've got people on from multiple countries, and the great thing about this, you can do it from any country in the world. It's all online, it's all electronic, you can apply it to your market, but be held accountable to the 90-day challenge online. So it's a great accountability model for anyone in any country. But once we've done the webinar, only half of those people registered for the 90-day challenge. Out of those 100 people, my challenge to everyone was, I think it's going to halve by week 1. I don't think even 50 people will get their score sheet in on week 1. But to everyone's credit, we got about 90% of people got their score sheet in on week 1. But by the end of the 90 days, there was only about a dozen people that finished the challenge. When I say finished, there were still people involved, but only 12 people out of that initial 200 got their score sheet in on time every single week. Okay, guess what? Those 12 people are some of the biggest business builders in Jeunesse, not by fluke, but they're professional, they're determined, they finished what they start, they got the right mindset, they got organized, and they took the 90-day challenge seriously. So how does it work? Well, we're going to go hard for 90 days. We're going to go absolutely crazy for 90 days, put Jeunesse above everything else, and just take it to a whole new level for 90-day period. I don't care if you don't sleep. We're going to fill in the score sheet every day, so you'll see the score sheet come up in a second. So every time you make a phone call, every time you attend a live event, every time you're doing the things on the score sheet, mark them down. Because if you try and remember at the end of the week all the calls that you did, all the things that you did, you'll forget and you'll be guessing, okay, and you'll be making that up. Okay, so filling your score sheet every day. Okay, every activity will get you a point. Handing your score sheet every Sunday, okay, to stay in the running, to complete it, and a chance to win. This year there is simpler score sheet and bonus points for productive activities. So it's kind of like, you know, the episode of The Block. We're going to be running the episode of The Block every year, but every year the rules change. We throw in some wild cards and new and exciting things to keep the 90-day challenge interesting and better and better and better. And that's really it. Real simple accountability. So this is your score sheet this year. Real simple. So every single time you bring a personal prospect to a live opportunity event, mark that down. So week 1 starts next week. So if you go to 5 events, okay, and you bring 5 people to each one of those events, there's 25 points for you. Mark them down as they happen in week 1. Okay, every time you do a 3-way phone call, because we want to be encouraging these types of activities over and over again so they become habit. So every time you do a 3-way phone call for your downline, or every time you do a 3-way phone call with your upline, that's going to be a point also. Mark that in the area there. Now that has to be a new prospect, okay? So it's not a 3-way phone call of introducing someone to your upline. It's not a 3-way phone call for the 2nd or 3rd or 4th time. It's not a 3-way phone call to follow up. It's not a 3-way phone call just to catch up with friends. So it has to be a new prospect for the very first time, the first 3-way call you've done. Now, whether you're the downline doing that with your upline, that will be a point for you. If you're the upline doing it for your downline, that's a point for you. So we really want to encourage the uplines to get the 3-way calls happening because they're so powerful. And we want to encourage the downlines to be doing them when they're uplines because they're so powerful. Phone calls. So every time you ring a new prospect about Jeunesse, that's going to be a point. So if you make 20 phone calls in a day, 20 points. Okay, you can do that every day. You know, you're going to have 140 points there for the week. So mark them in the little area provided each time you do a new call. Again, it has to be a call to a new prospect, so it's not a follow-up call. Okay, it's your initial, very first time. You're prospecting them on LinkedIn, you're prospecting them on Facebook. Okay, you're going to do a phone call, bang, that's a point. Okay, and then we have bonus points this year. Okay, so every time that you attend a live event, that can be a power event, training event, Okay, it has to be a formal event, so it has to be up on Jeunesse Global South Pacific. All right, you're going to get 5 points for attending that live event. So you can imagine if you attend a live opportunity event and bring 5 people, there's 30 points straight away. Again, we want to be encouraging all these things so our live events pack out, everyone gets competitive about the 90-day challenge, you're marking it down accurately. You're going to get 20 points if you qualify and go to the Noosa Leadership Retreat. We want people to become sapphires through this 90-day period and experience that Noosa Leadership Retreat. You get 20 points if you come with us to Las Vegas. Maybe we should have made that 100 points, but 20 points. Come with us in Las Vegas. That'll be a huge experience. 20 points for going to the Melbourne convention and 20 points for just holidaying. 20 points if you go on and win the Dubai trip in May. So they're bonus points that you can get every week, every month throughout that 90-day period. If there's any questions on that, we'll do questions at the end. So the system really is to tap in to the JFire Diamond training every Thursday, so you keep learning and improving during the 90-day period. Register with the 90-day challenge Facebook group. Okay, I'll put all of this in the JFire website, but they're already there. Go through and have a look where those groups are. We'll put them in there again. So there's it's called the VIP 90-day challenge group, I think. So search for the VIP 90-day challenge group and make sure you register in that group. Register formally for the 90-day challenge at the Eventbrite. I can see there that there's already been about 110 people register, so there's about 90 tickets left. So you want to do that pretty quickly. Again, the link for that is up in JFire. Okay, there'll be a private 90-day challenge email group, so I'll grab all your emails once you've registered, put you guys in the group and keep you updated on the leaders board and some motivational stuff and all those different types of things. The email address you need to send your score sheet into is craigandaaron@gmail.com, okay, by midnight every Sunday. Now, if for some reason you can't email it in, just take a picture of it with your phone. You can text it in, that will count, but don't send your score sheets into my personal email address. It'll just get lost and clog up my email. So write that email address down, craigandaaron@gmail.com. Okay, and again, we'll have the top 3 winners. Last year, our winner was the youngest sapphire ever in Jeunesse. Taylor Daly won the 90-day challenge, won 2 gold class movie passes. I think it was Julie Barker came second, won a box reserve, and Rossi Egan came third, and he also won a box of reserve. This year, bigger and better prizes because we're diamonds, so we can afford bigger and better prizes. So to come in the top 3, it's just a matter of simply getting the most points. Okay, if you don't get your score sheet in 1 week, you can't win. You can't complete it. All right, so make sure you get in every Sunday, and you'll be surprised. You think you're not winning, but you'll be surprised if you're consistent, and you'll be right up there with a chance. Okay, what will you get out of it? The biggest thing is accountability. So, you know, when me and Angela were talking last year, and again, who is this 90-day challenge for? It's for everybody. If you think you're too good for the 90-day challenge because you're a sapphire elite or a ruby or emerald or a diamond or even a triple diamond, okay, it's just the wrong attitude. Because again, what is leadership? Number 1, leadership is doing. Leadership is setting the example. So if you're saying, I don't need to do the 90-day challenge, I'm way above that, I already know what I'm doing, and your team go, yeah, well, it can't be that good, I won't do it either, and your team won't do it. You want your team doing this, trust me, and the only way they'll do it is if you do it. But I love doing it. I do it myself every day, every week during the 90-day challenge. I get competitive. I want to hand in a good score sheet, but it makes me do the phone calls. It makes me go to live events. It makes me do the 3-way calls. Just like anyone, everyone needs accountability. If you go to the gym by yourself, what do? You go on your favorite machines. You work out about 3/4 of what you could do. If you're accountable to a personal trainer, what does a personal trainer make you do? All the things that are going to get you results. They're going to make you work at 100% intensity. It's a lot harder work, but you get results. Accountability is everything. Weight loss, business, your career, everything. That's why I always talk about an accountability partner in the Getting Started training. So the biggest thing is the accountability to hand your score sheet in every Sunday. No one else will see your score sheet, so don't worry about that, okay? And it's not about necessarily winning it or beating anyone else, but be accountable to yourself and have an expectation that you don't want to hand in a blank score sheet. You don't want to hand in a score sheet with 0 phone calls or 0 three-way calls, or, I didn't go to any live events. And me and Angela were talking about it, and we were sort of being casual with it. Then it came to the weekend, and we thought, well, I have to hand this score sheet in on Sunday. And me and Angela didn't want to be seen to be having 0 phone calls. So the weekend became a huge prospecting phone call weekend. And then our phone call numbers looked really good. So this is for anyone. It's amazing for people that have just started the business, of course. It's just as amazing for people in the middle of their business, but it's just as good for diamonds, double diamonds, anybody. Okay, so it'll be good for your business at whatever level. But remember, even if you're leaders and you're thinking it's not for you, remember, guys, your team will do what you do. Set the example, sign up for the 90-day challenge and participate in it, because the leaders and the leaderboard will be getting named. And when people see your name chucked out there, they get excited and they keep momentum. It's all about the team. All right. It'll give you a focus. All right. So we want to focus on this 90 days. Don't worry about too much out for the rest of the year. Okay. I'm focusing on getting the Sapphire and getting the Noosa. I'm focusing on getting the 90-day score sheet in every Sunday. I'm focusing on getting to that event in May with momentum. Okay, so it gives you that focus to get the first quarter of the year done, and then we focus on the next stage. Okay, you can, like Craig said, you can double your business 30%, you can 200%. I've seen people's business go up 400% in 90 days from this business. Last year I went and looked at what my business was at the start of those 90 days, and at the end of the 90 days my commissions had tripled. It's a true story. You're going to get accelerated learning. Okay, so you're going to be focused on the things, and it's amazing when it forces you into the activities that build your business, how much better you get at it. So we might be terrible on your first phone call, but by the 20th one, you are getting really good. Now, if you do that every day and you do that for 90 days, how good are you going to be on the phone? How good are you going to get at prospecting? How good are you going to get at edifying and introducing on three-way phone calls? Okay, you're going to get very good at all these skills, so it accelerates and forces that learning and expertise. It's going to give you some clarity and steps leading up to the May conference. We kind of spoke about that. It'll set your 2015 business up. It really will. The momentum you get for it just keeps on going. Otherwise, the snowball that's getting bigger and bigger is just too slow. So it accelerates that startup in the year. Rank advancement, more commissions, more cycles, very exciting. It creates leadership. So again, when you're doing, you become a leader. As your skills and knowledge get better, you become a leader. As your name gets read out in the 90-day challenge, you become a leader. As you're posting in the 90-day challenge Facebook group, you get seen as a leader. It's going to give you some courage, because remember, everyone's scared of picking up the phone, making calls to big prospects, aren't they? So we're all scared. So that forces you to do that. And so the difference between a good networker and a bad networker is everyone's got the same level of fear, pretty much, but the good networkers have courage. So yeah, they're fearful of making that phone call, but they do it anyway, because their why is so important. They know that the phone calls is where it's at, and so they do it anyway because they know that it's worth getting into. Okay, the bad networkers are same fear, but they don't do it. They don't have courage, so they go and write another Facebook message, check their emails, and going on a YouTube video. They don't have the courage. So this will help with that courage, and eventually you'll get better and better and better, and again, hopefully that gets into success habits for you. It'll help you to be organized and have your time management sorted as well. Will you do it? So this challenge is not for wussies, wimps, complainers, or procrastinators. Okay, this is a no excuses zone. So if you do not hand your score sheet in, I am not interested in your excuse why that happened. I am not interested in why you didn't make phone calls because you're procrastinating. Wussy, wimps, I'm not interested in any complaint that you have because you couldn't hear the audio to this webinar, you didn't hear the rules, I can't download a score sheet. Not interested. This is for leaders or people that want to be leaders. No excuses zone. If you feel you can't fit into that, don't apply. The words like but, can't, I was going to, yeah, maybe, probably, I'll try, sort of, could have, and I'll do it tomorrow need to be deleted from your vocabulary right now, at least for the next 90 days. But then let's hope that becomes habit. Your past results and title do not matter. Okay, so full-time, part-time, executive, diamond, doesn't matter. Get involved in the 90-day challenge. It's what you're prepared to do in the next 90 days that can really set you and your team up. Okay, and remember, you'll do it if your why is important enough. It always comes down to your why. So when you're sitting there and you're thinking about the 90-day challenge and you want to get a good score sheet, just remember your why is so much bigger than when your why is bigger than what other people think, you'll always win. So you just got to always remember that. If you're getting nervous, if you're procrastinating, think about why you're doing this in the first place. And if that's big enough, okay, you'll go and do it. Okay, when your conviction is bigger than their doubt, you'll win. Remember, when you are worried, when you are procrastinating and you make the decision to not talk to that person, on the train, on the bus, at work, at a networking event, or you choose not to make those phone calls, you are selling out on your dreams and your family's dreams. You owe it to your family to do those calls, to talk to those people. Okay, all because of what that person might have said. Who cares? They might have even said yes. And remember, in Jeunesse, one enrollment can change everything. And that may be tomorrow. Okay, if they say no, what's the worst that can happen? They say no, so what? You've still got 2 arms and 2 legs. Okay, don't worry so much about what people think of you, because they don't think of you that often. Trust me on that one. You'll probably never even see them again. And this is what I always say to people. Remember that guy that just rang you up to try and change you from Optus to Telstra, that phone guy, and you said no thanks politely and then kind of hang up? You don't walk around the house going, I can't believe that guy. And then an hour later, you're going, I'm going to track that guy down. I'm going to find out his name. I'm going to put him on social media. A day later, you're telling all your friends, this guy just rang me on the. Can you? No, you don't. You've forgotten about him 5 seconds after you've just hung up. So if you're worried about calling someone, trust me, if they're not interested, they'll forget about you 5 seconds after the phone call. So you're never going to see them again. They're never going to think of you again. Who cares? Okay. If you care about people's approval, you're going to be a prisoner forever. So that's it, guys. The next step is to literally register for the challenge. So go to the Eventbrite link. It's literally name, email. I think that's it. And you're registered. I'll put you then in the 90-day challenge email group. Go to the Facebook group, VIP 90-day challenge. Make sure you join that group, because that's where all the activity is going to be happening, where we're going to motivate each other, inspire each other, put up the leaders board. You can also download your score sheet right now in that VIP 90-day challenge. You just click on download the score sheet. I would print out 4 of those score sheets, physically print them out. I'd have one in your car for the people because the car is the best spot to make your phone calls. If you're traveling, do not waste that time. Have your earpiece in, have your Bluetooth in. That's the best place to make your calls. And you don't want to forget, so you've got to mark them down on the score sheet, when you stopped at the traffic lights. Make sure you've stopped at the traffic lights before you mark them in. Have one in your computer bags when you're out and about, you're making calls, you're at networking events, okay? So you're out and about. Have one in your home office and have one at work. All right, so that way you never forget and have to think about at the end of the day or the end of the week, how many calls did I do? Print out those and then get to work. The challenge starts February the 2nd and finishes on the 2nd of May at midnight. All right, so guys, I think that pretty much wraps up the 90-day challenge. If there's any questions as to, clarification on how the score sheet works, any questions on how any of the 90-day challenge works, how you get scored, live events, where you need to submit it to, anything else involved, fire away with questions now. And let me know if you're excited. Where can I shine the worksheet to print out? I think Jean must have written that before we finish. So yeah, the worksheet is in the VIP 90-day challenge. I'll also put them up on JFire as well, so you can print them out from there. Yarjar's excited, Amber's excited. What I might do just quickly before I go into questions is I might just grab some people that did the 90-day challenge last year, and let's just hear from them. I know it was awesome for my business, but let's just hear from a few other people. Let's unmute Angela. Angela, are you there? Future Diamond.
I sure am. Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you loud and clear. Can you, just tell us, I mean, I was just telling the guys about me and you wanting to be accountable to each other and competitive and how it makes you do those things and fill in the score sheet. So just let us know, will you be participating this year? What do you get out of it last year and your take on the challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. I was sort of cringing a bit when you were talking about that, Aaron, because the thing about this challenge for me last year is that it was like a mirror. Everything that I did in my business that I thought I was doing really well, when I started the challenge and started to be accountable, filling out that form every week, I realized that what I saw in the mirror really, I wasn't 100% happy with. So, it's a great way to get an instant snapshot. In that first week, you guys are going to really see where you're at with this business and where your commitment level is. And, it'll be realistic. You'll be able to, I guess, see why you are where you are in the business and what you need to do more of to get where you want to go. So, the good news is we're all doing the right actions. In most cases, we're just not doing enough of it. So for me in this business, I went in with a huge team. There was quite a lot of hundreds of JFI people that went into the challenge with me. So we managed to create mass momentum very, very quickly. So in my personal business, I saw growth of over 30%. In one of the months, it was as high as 37%. And in those 3 months, I got to Ruby Director, so in the third month. And then the the fourth month, where, you would think that things would start to slow down, I actually doubled my business and ranked as an Emerald Director. And that is honestly because the momentum was just still going. Everyone was still excited. The habits that were created didn't just stop because the 90-day challenge was over. So this challenge is about establishing great business habits that will continue to reward you forever in your business. And, I just can't wait to see where everyone ends up with it. So guys, dream big, work fast, and be accountable. That's all I've got to say to all of you today on the call. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks heaps, Angela. Absolutely awesome. Let's see if she's on here. Nicole Mariner. Yes, Nicole. Unmute Nicole. And Nicole, are you there?
I am. How are you going?
Good, Nick. Now, I think you're a previous winner of the 90-day challenge in 2013. Is that correct?
I was. And look,
so.
For me, it was absolutely fantastic, and I'm really excited to do it again this year. And I think talking about the accountability, that was really important for me to really set things on fire for 90 days. And I think as a newbie too, one of the things that was really exciting is not to focus on the no. So the more people you were speaking to, the more excited you got about the yeses and those coming on board. So obviously creating the great habits that have taken us over the last 2 years, and I'm excited to hopefully duplicate close to what Angela did in that same period. So I can't wait to get started.
And I'm sure you will. Absolutely. Good work, Nick. All right. Who else have we got on there that was involved last year? Let's see if we can find Karen Casey. Karen Casey, are you with us? I'm not sure whether Kazza's got a microphone. You've got a little grey line through the microphone, Kazza.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
There we go. How are you? Good. What's your...
I'm well, very well. Very, very excited.
Okay, tell us about the 90-day challenge.
Yeah, so I guess one thing I'm really excited about is obviously we only finished sort of toward middle of last year with the last 90-day challenge, so I feel really excited. That turned my business, well, tripled my business, but also the 90-day challenge before that, I went Sapphire. So I've got two great stories. I've been building the business part-time, but what it showed me was there were a lot of hours that I was not using for productive tasks. So I'm really keen. I've been able to find even more hours this year. So I'm looking forward to what 2015 has to offer, obviously heading for elite. And, you know, I've got a bit of a team behind me. Like Ange said, I've got, you know, a bigger team this time. So looking for that momentum and putting in that extra effort and hopefully tripling the business again.
Absolutely awesome. I remember Karen saying to me that Jeunesse was coming first in that 90-day challenge and the kids were making their own lunches. Is that right, Karen?
Pretty much. Bad luck, guys.
Awesome. And we'll just hear from one more, Julie Barker. Let me find Julie. There she is. Now, Julie's on fire at the moment with enrollments. She is on fire. All right, Julie, are you there?
I am, Aaron. Can you hear me?
Yes, very good, Julie. So just let us know a little bit about your activity recently, but I guess what the 90-day challenge is going to be for you in 2015, because you've been a very good participant in these challenges in the past.
I love the 90-day challenge simply because it's huge for the accountability, because we can be our own worst enemy when we can procrastinate, and so it gives you that person, you know, like it's the accountability that's absolutely huge, because it keeps the activities top of mind. You know what you need to be doing every day. You know, you're looking at your score sheet every day, so you're making sure you're putting something on it all the time. So because weeks can go, you know, the days of the week go so fast, and so it just keeps it top of mind. So look, I found it was brilliant last year just to be able to have that momentum, you know, and you take every advantage you can to talk to people, make those phone calls, see how many you can do in the day, and you don't worry about the no's, because you're focusing on activity, and the activity is then what's going to make the results. And I found as a result of doing the challenge last year, it kept the habits kept going for the rest of the year. So it just makes it so much easier to just build a business. So I can't wait to see where I'm at the end of the 90 days. And I've got a team behind me who are keen to get on it as well. So very exciting.
Absolutely. And I reckon Julie might be a dark horse to win it this year after runner-up last year. So keep an eye out for that name. Thanks heaps, Julie.
That's the plan. And I was third too. So let's give Ross the credit.
Third, right. I couldn't remember you or Ross, second or third. Yes, okay.
Yeah, no,
third to first this year. Okay.
Yes, that's the plan. Thanks, Aaron.
Good on you. All right, guys, so I'll just get any other questions answered. The question here, do you get points for people attending Monday night webinars? No, you get points for what's on that score sheet. Okay, of course, you still want to be getting people on that webinar, absolutely, but we're going to be simplifying it and keeping people accountable. So, you know, if you're turning up to live events, we know, and if you're putting down, 10 points for attending live events and no one's seen you for a month, will know you're forged. I mean, most people are pretty good with the score sheets. People are pretty honest, and it comes down on honesty policy, really. I mean, I know last year there were a few people that were putting, 40 phone calls a day down, and I don't think they were doing that deliberately to deceive. I think they just didn't quite understand the rules. And make sure you're very clear on what those rules are on the score sheet, and we might go over them one more time. Is it only phone calls, or can it be face-to-face like home launches or coffee meetings? No, it's whatever's on that score sheet. So last year we had points for face-to-face meetings, and we had points for presenting and all sorts of things. So no, this year it's just real simple. The phone calls, the three-way, the live events, and the bonus points. Real simple. The Facebook group is the VIP 90-day challenge, Michelle. Beautiful. Does my personal launch at home count as a live event? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make, and again, you want to be doing your face-to-faces, you want to be doing the webinars, you want to be doing the launches, absolutely. And, next year we might make it points for conducting launches, but this year, no, it is literally just points for attending a live event. The live event must be up on Jeunesse Global South Pacific to count as a pointed event. That's a real easy way for us to keep a score sheet across the ground where there's no grey areas, And because people are doing catch up with girlfriends for a coffee, and they mentioned the serum, but it wasn't really spoken about, and that's the point. No, we want to make it real productive tasks. So it has to be those prospecting phone calls, it has to be attending live events that are up on Jeunesse Global South Pacific, and just three-way call after three-way call, getting to those events that matter. So it's really going to make people get into the things that what you get paid for. Bakes, I'm not even going to answer that one because I think you're just being funny. More questions from Adam. What about face-to-face chats and business card handouts? I think we've answered that. Pumped, excited, can't wait, ready, can't wait, excited, pumped, excited, can't wait to start. This is awesome. All in, Kathy Hall. No, Karina. Home launches not counting as an event. Thanks, Elisa. Thanks, Pete. Absolutely, Nicole. Vivian just said, do new prospects you approach out and about, does this count towards phone calls checklist? Well, of course, if you're at a networking event and you grab the business card and you're phoning them the next day, that's a phone call to a new prospect. So, of course, that counts as a point. You've got to find people somewhere. So you're finding people on LinkedIn, Facebook, networking events, the internet, newspapers, your warm market. Anywhere you find them, that doesn't matter. That's fine. When you make that phone call to them, that's your point. Okay, and look, it doesn't matter whether you got shut down. It doesn't matter whether you got message bank. Make sure you leave a message. But when you make that phone call and you're talking about Jeunesse and you want to push them into a webinar or a three-way call, you could double up on points. Phone someone, get them interested, get them on a three-way call, get another point. All right, so just as soon as you make that call, that's the point. Yeah, Alan, if you're very technologically sound, you can definitely fill in your score sheets on the computer and you can email them in that way. And I wouldn't be able to do that because I'm a technophobe. But if you can do that, yep, sure, just as long as it goes to the right email address and it's filled in nice and neat, you can definitely just fill the score sheets out on your computer, save them and send them in. That's no dramas. Yep. Doesn't sound as scary as I was expecting it to be. No, it's very warm and fuzzy, Nicole. It's all good. Are webinars included as live events? No. Party plan? No. Not unless they're on Jeunesse Global South Pacific under the Events tab. Webinars won't count. Darren and Kate said they just grew their business 10 times during last year's 90-day challenge. Beautiful, Darren and Kate. That is awesome. I should have got you guys unmuted. It's a good question from the international guys. So people in the US, Singapore, etc., live events in those areas may not be on Jeunesse Global South Pacific. So that's a very good point. So, you guys are smart enough to know, we're not going to be doing the party plan and house launches. We're going to be doing the big business opportunity events. So, yeah, make sure you guys put yourself down for every one of them that you attend and every person you would bring along to them. So, yeah, Angela is based in Singapore, Malaysia. And so, yes, absolutely. If you guys go to those live events in your area, same in the US, you guys know whether it's a big opportunity event like a main one at a location. Yeah, give yourself a point for 5 points for attending, a point for every new person you bring along. So yeah, make sure you mark them down and send them in. So if anyone's international and their events aren't on Jeunesse Global South Pacific, yeah, make sure you give yourself a point for that. We don't want to exclude that just because you're in another country not on that. So good point there, Angela. Alan just said, did you and Craig have a fear of calling people you didn't know well? And how long did it take you to get over the fear? I still do, Alan. We all do, but I just do it anyway. Can new distributors join throughout the challenge? They can, yeah. So if you're enrolling someone from 30 days from now, I would definitely plug them into the 90-day challenge, but be a little bit careful. Sometimes it's a bit full on for somebody if they're just dipping their toe in the water. They won't be able to win it or have a completion certificate, but they'll still get really great benefits from it. So yeah, I'd be putting my new business builders into the 90-day challenge for sure. So if anyone else asks me, does a home launch count as a live event? I think I might have to disqualify you from the 90-day challenge. Yep, I'll post this video, so it's been recorded, so I'll post that for you guys. Yes, Angela, you get 100 points for that. Do you get points for your level 2s if your level 1 hasn't actively invited to live events? Well, you don't get points for your level 1s either, Renee. So you only get points for you personally attending a live event. All right. So you get 5 points for attending a live event, and you only get 1 point for bringing a new prospect to a live event. So it's irrelevant. You don't get any points for level 1s or level 2s. All right. I hope that answered that question for you. Yes, Jacinta, we will definitely acknowledge those events in the country. Hopefully they're up on Jeunesse Global South Pacific anyway. Bakey. Rhonda, so a call to someone who isn't interested is still counted. Absolutely. You're not going to get a yes all the time, but you've made that phone call. You've done the right thing. You're going to probably get more no's than yeses. So make sure you give yourself a point for that. If someone tells you to get lost, that's all right. You just won a point for the 90-day challenge. So you still won something. So yeah, whether they say yes, no, or maybe on that phone call, it's still a point for you, definitely. Oh God, guys, it's really simple. Again, people try and complicate this business model, and whatever's on that score sheet is what you get points for. All right, so don't try and complicate any more than that. All right, so people are asking, if I talk to people via Facebook chat, is that a point? No. If Facebook chat was a column on the score sheet, then it would count. All right, when you pick up the phone and call that person you've been chatting to, then that's a point. Don't try and overcomplicate it, guys. Do you get points for each guest that comes to a live event? Yes. Okay, I've just had a question about the Las Vegas event. Most people haven't heard much about it, and that's a good point because, they're really marketing it at the US marketplace. But the Las Vegas event it's a lead event, so it's training. So it's actually a really good event to go to. A lot of people that went to Macau last year would have seen how amazing it was to have 13,000 people in a massive stadium. So it's basically an exhibition. It's like a circus. It's exciting. You get recognition, you hear new announcements. It's awesome, but you're not really going to learn anything at those big conventions, whereas Vegas is all about learning. So it's all about diamonds and double diamonds and triple diamonds, doing trainings and breakout sessions on every aspect of the business to get better at it from all around the world. We have outside motivational speakers come in. It's a great event, and this year will be the best event because, I mean, last year they only had about 700 people there. This year they're looking to have around about 5,000 people in the US. So it's the week before Noosa. So around about the 18th of March, I think. 19th of March, whatever that weekend falls on, it'll be on the Saturday, Sunday. So I'm flying up there on the Wednesday, I think it is, flying back on the Sunday, which will get me back into Noosa for the Tuesday. And yeah, it'll be a fantastic event. Caesars Palace. We'll have a lot of fun. We always make the most of going to Vegas, that's for sure, but we take the events pretty seriously for that learning and those relationships. We're going to have a really big team there. So I know Lyndon's going, I'm going, Craig's going, Angela. I'm not sure who else is going. I don't want to say too many names in case they're not, but that number's slowly building, but it's not a big event we've really marketed here in Australia, mainly for the reason that it's pretty hard to expect everyone to go to everything. By the time you've forked out money to go to Vegas and then you're away from your family again for the Noosa Leadership Retreat, and then you come into Melbourne for the conference, you got to pick and choose your events. I mean, if I had to pick and choose them, I'd definitely be saying you got to go to the Melbourne event, you got to go to the Noosa event, and then the other one's kind of up to you. I'd probably put the Singapore event as a priority just for the sheer fact of 15,000 people there. But for learning, the Vegas one's going to be really good. So if you're really, really serious about the business, yeah, sure, I go to everything because I'm very serious about the business. And if you can afford it and you're okay being away from home, I'd definitely recommend it. Do you need to do a three-way call if you're able to get across the line without it? No, definitely not. Don't change anything that you're doing. Just go more intensely on everything. If you feel like getting them on a webinar is a better for that person, and then you follow them up with a private phone call yourself and they join, that's great. But it's always good to do a three-way phone call after a webinar as well. But no, you don't have to do that. That's for sure. Baker. Rhonda, with home launches, do you count each individual as person point you spoke to? No, I don't know how much. I don't know how I'm going to get these rules through to people. It's going to be a mayhem, isn't it? Home launches don't count, Rhonda. I think we've said that about 10 times. And talking to someone face to face doesn't count. I think we probably said that 20 times. But if you grab their number at a home launch and they hadn't joined yet and you called them the next day, that would count as a point because you just made a phone call to a new prospect. Do international prospects count? Of course they do. Try and ask good questions, guys. No, the points don't need to be evenly spread. Points are points. It's a good question from Tanya. For overseas people, would Skype be included? Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't matter whether you call them on the phone, on Skype, on Viber. A phone call's a phone call. So as long as you're talking to them and it's not text, all right, so WhatsApp wouldn't count. All right, so yeah, phone or Skype, that's completely fine. That's awesome. Turbo Scan is brilliant to scan sheets, says Julie. Thanks, Julie. What are the prizes, Donna? Very good question. They will be announced soon. So what I might do is announce one prize, and then we'll announce second prize, and so we'll keep that guessing for a little bit. But they will be very good prizes for winning. Karen's loving the new score system, keeping it simple. Thanks, Kaz. Someone understands it. If you call someone and leave a message, yeah, we'll count that. You know, yeah, we'll count that. So, you know, if they call you back and you're talking to them again, that's not going to be 2 points. So whether you leave a message or not, you know, you'll follow up and do that call again with them, or they'll call you back. That's going to be a point for that person. So yes, that would be a point. Stephen's just asked a question. Do webinars count? No, Stephen. The webinars aren't going to count this year, so no points for that one. That's a good question though. This webinar will not be repeated, but it is being recorded. Good work, Tiffany. Any points for a Tinder match? No points for Tinder matches this year. Maybe next year though. Andrew, I'm not going to answer that question. I think you know the answer to that one. Yeah, so Amelia's just said, to clarify, not sure why you have to clarify, but if I attend a live event and I bring one person, is that 6 points? Yes, absolutely. 5 points for you attending and 1 point for your prospect. You get a point for someone attending an event in another state. Yes, absolutely. One point for each person you bring to a meeting. Yes. Will there be a live stream for Vegas? I'm not sure. Good question. There might be, probably. No, you don't get any points for bringing members of your team to an opportunity event or a power session. No. All right, Angela and Steve can leave the webinar if they like. All right, guys. I think we get the point. What I'll do, there's lots of questions there. We haven't got time to go through them all. I'll quickly run through the score sheet with you one more time, and then I'll put the link up to the VIP. A few people can't find the Facebook group, so I'll just put the link up for you so you can go into that one. Most people are kind of a member of that already from last year, but I'll put that link up for you guys. So again, score sheet, real simple. Live events, if you attend, you get a point. Okay. If you bring a prospect, you get a point. All right. Three-way phone calls. If you do one for your downline or you do one with your upline to a new prospect, that is a point. Okay, not for an introduction from someone that's already joined. Phone calls. Every time you call someone for the first time, a brand new prospect, you get a point. Okay, so it's bringing people to live events, it's bringing people to three-way calls, it's doing your phone calls. You get 5 bonus points for you attending any live event, whether you bring someone or not. Very easy to get 5 points every week in your state, probably. 20 points for attending Noosa Leadership Retreat, 20 points for coming to Vegas, 20 points for coming to Melbourne, 20 points for going to Dubai. That is it. No webinars, no house parties. All right. Now let me find the links for you guys, and I'll just post them here in the webinar. I'm actually on Craig's computer, so that might be trickier. Okay, there it is. All right, guys, so I'm just posting in your text icon to everyone the link to the VIP. It's called Jeunesse VIP 90-day challenge group, and send to all. So I'm sending you that link. Score sheets are in there already. Let me find the registration. Okay. I'm sending you the link to the registration, the Eventbrite, right now. If there's no tickets left, I'll add a few more in there, so don't worry, you won't miss out. Let me see how many is left for you. Okay, there's 68 tickets remaining, so there should be enough there for you guys. If there's not, I'll add more in there. So it's simply a matter of clicking on register at the Eventbrite address there. Okay, putting your first name, your surname, your email address, and you're registered. That's it. And then go back to your Facebook group, okay, Jeunesse VIP 90-day challenge group. Join that group, and we're off and racing. I'll add your email address into the my specific emails. You can download the score sheet right here, weekly score sheet 2015. Hit on download, that'll save to your computer, and away you go. All right, guys, I think we've covered that. Any other questions, just Facebook me, text me, ring me. If you've got any other questions, I'll post a recording to this webinar, and we're off and racing starting from February the 2nd.